Joining me now, Victor Davis Hanson, Senior Fellow at the Hoover Institution, and Ben Domenech, Editor-at-Large with The Spectator and Fox News contributor. Victor, I know politicians always do this until the last minute when they do drop out, but this is kind of what happened to Jeb Bush in Florida all those years ago in 2016. So is she essentially what, working for Biden at this point? That's what the conspiracy theorists think.
Yeah, she's getting close to that point. I mean, there's a lot of strategies. George Bush, and you remember in 1980, kept at it, even though he didn't have a chance to win. And maybe Reagan in '76 he lost the first 7, but he was pulling ahead in all the subsequent primaries, and he won his home state by 65 points. So I don't see any of those scenarios for her. I guess maybe she thinks Donald Trump might have legal problems and be inert, and then she would step in. And the only other alternative is she's going to go the full Liz Cheney, Laura, and just become a never-Trumper. I don't know what the strategy is. She's hurting her chances for 2028.
Well, Ben, she obviously has an enormous amount of money that the plutocrats have poured into her coffers. But if she wants to have a political future at all, I mean, and I said this after Iowa, if she wanted to have a political future, drop out after Iowa. She didn't, obviously keeps it going. But at this point, what is the point other than to help Biden?
Well, I'm going to disagree slightly, and it's always a bad idea to disagree with Victor Davis Hanson. But I'll disagree slightly only in the sense that I don't think she has any shot in 2028. So I don't think that it's actually going to hurt her chances to stick around because they were so low anyway. Look, Nikki Haley represents the past. She's a callback to, the before time, the long ago. Really, in a way, I think that, what she represents is, sort of the last-ditch act of a Republican Party that wants to be more corporatist, less populist, and less in touch with its own voters. And I think that that's unfortunately the person that you ended up with as the last fallback in case of Donald Trump having the kind of legal problems that you referenced. It's something, though, that I think is increasingly unlikely. That's why you see the desperation from the Joe Biden White House, because they thought they had all these outs. They thought that they had all these opportunities to undo Donald Trump's success this year through legal means. And yet what we see after the Fani Willis situation and everything you represented in your opening monologue, those chances are going away very rapidly. And the American people are seeing through them, which means you're going to have to beat Donald Trump on your own terms, something that looks increasingly unlikely for Joe Biden to be able to do.
I want to get back to the destruction of these time-honored institutions in a moment that the Democrats are willing to just sacrifice in their mania about Trump. But the publisher of the New York Times over the weekend said that Biden is a historically unpopular incumbent and the oldest man to ever hold this office. We've reported on both of those realities extensively, and the White House has been extremely upset about it. Victor, the word came out over the weekend that the White House is furious that the press is finally picking up on the fact that Biden is deteriorating and has been for quite some time before our eyes. They're mad about it.
Yeah, I think it just feeds into this scenario that you have a cognitively challenged president in an unprecedented fashion. He's unpopular. Every one of his issues is unpopular, and they're headed for defeat, they think, not anybody else, they think. And so then that puts the onus on Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, Jack Smith, E. Jean Carroll, you name it, Alvin Bragg. And what they're trying to do is to achieve something that they either can't do at the ballot box, or they don't have no popularity, they have no agenda. And I think Nikki Haley doesn't understand that she's getting into a situation by this sharp upping the criticism of Trump. People view her as on that side, Laura, on the lawfare side of a system that's doing everything it can to destroy Donald Trump, because they have no other option, because they're not on the right side of history on the issues. And as I said earlier, and everybody's agrees that he's inert. And the question isn't whether he'll make it the next 4 years. The real question is he going to make it in the next 9 months?
Victor and Ben, thank you. Great to see both of you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.